I actually decided to do this video. I think I've told some of you that about, I don't know, last fall or something, we changed newsletter providers, and I'd sent out a handful of emails saying that if you wanted to continue receiving the newsletters that you had to fill out this form, blah, blah. And many of you, I guess, that didn't happen. I don't know if you never saw the email or if it just didn't get to happen. But anyway, so now I have lots to say, as I always have, and many of you are not on the newsletter. So you can actually reply to this email and let us know whether or not you've been receiving the newsletters, let's just say this year, so that if you haven't been, or if they've been in your spam folder because they're coming from a different provider, we'll make sure that you get on the newsletter. And so my point in giving you this video is A, I've never done it like this, so I thought it would be fun, and B, is that I did send out a newsletter on Tuesday and handfuls have not gotten it. So I thought, okay, I can't call everybody, so I will just send you an email. And I'm sending you're just a handful of maybe, I don't know, 13 or 14 people that I'm sending you this particular video to, because I'm having a healing circle on the 18th of March, and I went through and just sort of asked Spirit who would be served to be in that circle. So, and your name came up. So, and let me tell you what the circle is about. It's about, so it's a funny, I can't really explain it all. I will be explaining it in the healing circle, because I think we'll have a little, like 3.5 hours together. But the gist of it is that almost all human beings have a unconscious program or pattern of not having the ability to reach ideal health. So it shows up in our self-sabotages, it shows up in getting only so far, even though we're doing a lot of things, and I know that you are doing a lot of things, all the right things, especially things that we, are told will give us good health, and it just sort of falls short. Either that, or there are some real, lower level health concerns that you might have. And so I learned this a long time ago, and I didn't really understand it until, I don't know, a few years ago, and then I started actually working with people, and it's pretty, myself included, because I never actually do anything with anyone until I've gone through it myself. I just, that doesn't feel like, very good integrity to me. I can only talk about something if I'm living through it or have lived through it myself. So anyway, so releasing this programming is a really key, pivotal point in being able to get past, like a block or places where an obstacle or feeling like a hurdle or something that we can't get over in order to access what feels like what we should be able to access in terms of better health. And I want to say, when I talk about health, of course I'm talking about our physical well-being and symptoms and feeling good in our body and a feeling of flexibility and fluidity and just good sleep, energy, digestion, all the stuff that matters, especially as we move forward in our years. We have an interesting cultural belief, I guess is the way to say it, that over 40 we just sort of degenerate and chronic disease is normal, and that's actually not the makeup or the design or the blueprint of a human being. And we all tend to sort of fall into that programming because it's everywhere. We see it everywhere. We hear it on TV. We see it in our friends and family. And the true nature of aging, of course, we're going to get older, but being able to regenerate and access vitality as we age is normal. And we know it's normal because plenty have done it. It's just, we have to get over the hurdle that that's not possible. And we have to, sorry, I'm fussing with my notes. And we have to be willing to access the fact that it's possible and it's true that that's the design of a human being. So a couple of things we're going to do in this healing circle is we're going to go through a very specific protocol. It's a deep protocol, but it's very graceful and it's very easy. And of course, I'll walk you through it. And it's designed to actually sort of release the energy of a pattern or a belief, an unconscious belief pattern that is holding us. It's like an anchor on a boat, right? It kind of holds us back, or maybe you're trying to sail your boat and you're dragging your anchor behind you or something like that. It's hard and it's exhausting, and trust me, I'm very familiar with this. So, but I also know that in releasing this energy out of the system, it shifts. It makes a couple of things happen with that. It will start making it feel like you can get better traction with your health. You'll start feeling like you're gaining momentum with the things that you're doing because you're doing a lot. You'll also be able to recognize and see clearly the things that you should be doing, and it'll be easier for you to just say, no thank you, to the things that you know aren't really serving you, like, whatever, bags of potato chips or mounds of cookie or bowls of ice cream or something at night that kind of makes you feel bad, but you do it anyway. That's self-sabotaging behaviors that actually in large part come from this particular root of this patterning or this belief that's at a unconscious level. And it also will give you the capacity, I think I just said this, but it'll give you the capacity to see what you need for yourself in order to move forward more successfully with getting your health. I have an acronym for HEAL, H-E-A-L, HEAL, which is health and vitality. Ease, which is the opposite of stress and tension. It's also that particular letter E in the HEAL acronym is for expression, like our creative expression, our capacity to speak our truth, express who we really are. The A stands for abundance and plenty. We should be plugged into the trust that there's plenty of time, plenty of energy, plenty of wisdom, plenty of love, plenty of resources, money, that kind of thing. And most of us live from a perspective that is not one of plenty. And then the L in the HEAL acronym is love. Divine love is actually our ultimate healer. And when we can pull out the things in our system that are opposite of love, that's a long list, actually. It could be stress, it could be tension, it could be fear, it could be worry, all of that is on a mental, emotional level. And then there's, of course, the stuff that lands in the physical, our chronic pain, inflammation. The list is kind of long. So, and we all have our lists. So when we can remove the old programming and then bring in and embed the truth and line ourselves up with the frequency of the energy that actually heals everything, then we start running on all of our cylinders, and it's a very different feeling in a human body. The interesting thing about nature is that it is the design of nature is renewal and regeneration, and there is nothing in nature that doesn't renew itself or regenerate itself. We are part of nature, so that is our design as well. And I'm talking about when human beings don't get in the way of nature's natural way. When human beings stay out of nature's way, then renewal and regeneration is normal and natural, and it's the same is true for us. So it's a two-sided coin. On the one side, we need to pluck out that which is anchoring us, or causing obstacle to us in getting hurdled and getting past, so to speak. And then the second part, or the other side of the coin, is embedding natural programming, activating, awakening the natural programming of our being, of our body. And that's a very particular protocol that I've been working with for a number of years with different people. The problem is that when people come in for acupuncture, there's not enough time to go through all of this. And so for some people, I've set up little separate appointments and worked through this kind of thing with people. But I don't have enough time to do it with everybody. And, so it came to my mind that if we did it in a small healing circle, there's also really powerful healing energy that I would call forth. Not all of you know this, but I'm actually a closet I'm a closet healer outside of the acupuncture modality, and I use primarily light and the energy of love to dissolve and dissipate energy that is no longer serving to a human body. And so, and I need permission to do that, like conscious permission. So when you come in for acupuncture, your conscious permission is for acupuncture. And it's really hard for me to do both in an acupuncture treatment. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that the healing circle will be very, very much about activating a broader scope of energy for deep transformation that's graceful with lasting impact, that I have the capacity to do and will do with you if you choose to sit in the healing circle. And it's not weird, it's not woo-woo. I will explain everything. The research on these particular protocols are impeccable. Actually, they're working phenomenally across the world with many, many different people on many different subjects, primarily those places that we get stuck in, trauma, that kind of thing in our life. And you'll go home with a little like cheat sheet, so you can do this with yourself ongoingly on any subject. That's the other thing I'm a real big fan of, is teaching people how to fish instead of giving them the fish. One of the tenets of the Chinese medical code, healing code, is teach people. I should know this by heart. Teach people to stay well before they get unwell. It's on my website. Honor the spirit, and then the other one is oh my gosh, I have it over there on a piece of art. Anyway, I can tell you this if you choose to sit in the circle. But the point is to teach you how to keep yourself well. And so I just want to give you a few really valuable sort of tools for your toolbox, so to speak, that you can use on any subject. You can use on emotional stuff. You can use on stress. You can use on physical pain things. You can use it on mental spin. You can use it on worry. You can use it on attracting things that feel important to you to have in your life. And you can certainly use it on being a more loving person with all those around you, even if that means you want to attract more love into your life. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's basically a core level dissolution, meaning dissolving. It's kind of an obliteration, but that's a dramatic word. It's an obliteration like a laser treatment would be for, say, a gallstone or something like that. When people get a gallstone, lasered, they don't necessarily feel like they're being annihilated or anything. They probably don't feel much at all, but it's like a breaking up of energy. And you need the space that energy is taking up in your system. You need it back. You need it for other things. You need it for health. You need it for your cellular intelligence to have room in your system to take care of what it's supposed to be taking care of. That it often runs into blocks or barriers and can't get past. So I want to teach you how to do this so that your system has more fluidity and it's more there's more of a flow to it. I mean, the whole point of Chinese medicine is circulation of qi, right? Pain only can happen in a human body if there's a stagnation or a blockage of the flow of your life force, your energy inside your body. And Chinese call it qi, so it doesn't matter what we call it, really. So we're talking about opening up, unkinking your hoses, opening up blockages, kind of dissolving obstacles, obliterating energy, old energy that we've all been holding on to for far too long, and giving you some sort of more spaciousness in your system for circulation to be more effective, efficient, and allow your innate healing capacities inside of you to do what they're designed to do. So I know I just kind of babbled on a bit. Let me just make sure I am telling you everything that I wanted to. So it's Saturday, March 18th, and it's from I have us slotted for like from 9:30 to 12:30. If we have to go a little longer, that's okay. I want to make sure I want to work with you each individually if you want. It's not the kind of thing that you're going to be sitting in a circle and you have to bare your soul to people you don't know, unless you choose to work on a piece that is really important to you and you don't mind having, witnesses in a sacred space. Just, a sacred healing circle is all about confidentiality and holding a sacred space for our brothers and sisters to move through energy. And you can choose to do that or not, but I want to leave enough time, A, to explain how this works, B, to take us all through as a group to do that core release process, and then C, to allow individual work for those of you who might want it, and then to have some time for questions and answers, and then give you the information to send you home with so you can do this on your own. Yeah, and it's here at the place that you've probably been to, the place I'm doing treatment out of my house on 2nd and Upas. And I am, here's the scoop. So I'm putting a cost of $147 on our time together, which is actually wildly reasonable. You may or may not think that, but it is, trust me. I spend a lot of money on healing stuff, and $147 for a 3 or 4 hour healing circle is a nice price. But I want to say to you, if that's what's stopping you, please let me know. And you can either pay what you can, or you can make arrangements with me. But I just, if this is speaking to you, I don't want that to be the thing that stops you. Speaking of that, one of the things we're going to talk about in the healing circle is how to sense into your own internal guidance with a little more clarity. It's very hard to do when you have core programming that is sort of staticky and doesn't let you get a clear signal of what would be good choices for you. I mean, you might know in your head, yeah, I should eat healthy, eat more vegetables, all that stuff, but that's head stuff. In order for any of us to be successful in making wise choices and moving our entire system forward with momentum and with traction, we have to be able to sort of get into and connect into our guidance system, which is in our body. And so I want to have a little piece in our time together where we talk about how to tap into and feel your guidance as either right or not right at this time for you. So I'm going to stop babbling now, because I literally could go on till midnight and talk about the various pieces of this. But I guess the last thing I'll say is, if this speaks to you, then email me or give me a call and let me know that because it's a small space, so I only have room for about 10. And there's a couple of people already have their butts in the seat, so to speak. So, if this speaks to you, then give me a holler and let me know, and I will reserve one of those spots for you. And then if you have any questions about any of it, just email me or give me a call. And I hope you decide to be in the circle, because it is going to be powerful. And if you've never sat in a healing circle, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Actually, it's very you will leave feeling different, and then over the weeks forward, you will notice how much easier it is for you to access better health. I mean, it's not going to be a switch flipping thing where all your symptoms will be gone, but you'll start peeling away stuff in a reasonable amount of time that will point to, oh yeah, this made a big difference. It made a difference for me when I did it several years back, and it makes a difference for everyone that I've worked with on this. So anyway, I'm going to stop babbling now. Give me a holler if you have any questions, and I hope that I see you in this circle. Bye for now.